A lot of people are capable of working and are willing to work, but it's just the way it's set up. The mother and the children are better off if the husband isn't working or if the husband isn't there. And this breaks up so many poor families.
One of the saddest things is that many of the children whose parents are on welfare will in their turn end up in the welfare trap when they grow up. The people who get on welfare lose their human independence and feeling of dignity. They become subject to the dictates and whims of their welfare supervisor, who can tell them whether they can live here or there, whether they may put in a telephone, what they may do with their lives. They're treated like children, not like responsible adults. And they're trapped in the system. Maybe a job comes up that looks better than welfare, but they're afraid to take it, because if they lose it after a few months, it may be 6 months or 9 months before they can get back onto welfare. As a result, this becomes a self-perpetuating cycle rather than simply a temporary state of affairs.
A lot of people are capable of working and are willing to work, but it's just the way it's set up.
Right now, this is an old video from like the 1960s, early 70s and stuff like that. And it's about the welfare system. The welfare system was in place to destroy black families. You feel me? But what you got to understand is white families became a casualty of war. The immigrant families that they brought over here to help oppress black people, they became a casualty of war because they got comfortable in that setting. You feel me? That's why she say people want to work. You feel me? People want to work, but they're going to lose their benefits.
The mother and the children are better off if the husband isn't working or if the husband isn't there.
Right. So now she's saying that the husband not working or not there, that the kids and the women is better off. Now she's sitting right there with her man. So she's not saying she's advocating for this. She's actually against it. But she's saying she's basically seeing the plan. Way back then, black people saw the okie doke. They seen the smoke and mirrors about this welfare system and this plan, and she knew that this shit was gonna fuck us up. That's basically what she talking about in the interview in the fucking 70s. Yeah. It's 2024. Back then, it was black people that knew that the welfare system was gonna destroy the families, and that's basically what she's saying. Right. She's saying that the family is better off if the husband is not working or not there. Which means now the natural role of a family is all out of place. Because without that man there, the kids don't get the masculinity that they need. You feel me?
That's how you get to twerking on stage.
That's how you get to twerking on stage.
That's how you get to I want to be pregnant at the kindergarten.
That's how you get the Bloods and the Crips.
That's how you get the Bloods and the Crips.
And let me tell you how so much a trap this is. Because this was a plan, like they said in the Willie Lynch letter, that was not supposed to last forever. That's why they don't come checking if you're on Section 8. Mm-hmm. Is it a man here? They don't do that no more. They don't do that no more. You know why they don't do it no more? Because the plan is already done. The destruction is already caused. So they don't have to come check to see if a man's there, if you got food stamps. They don't do that no more. Because the plan that they started back in the 60s is already done. You could look in the prison system. You can look at the murders, the abortions, and you can see it.
Yeah, you could look at the war between black men and black women.
It's all there. Look at social media. The plan worked. Just look at social media. It worked. Look at the economic of black people. We spend $1.3 trillion a year and we don't have no businesses. It worked. So they don't have to check no more.
And this breaks up so many poor families.
One of the saddest things is that many of the children whose parents are on welfare will in their turn end up in the welfare trap.
It's a trap cycle.
It's a trap.
Generation to generation.
You thought the trap house was just on the block before them.
This is the generational wealth they was talking
about. This right. Come on, man. This is a trap.
Man.
That welfare system, they started that back in the 60s. Women was kicking men out the house. And guess what they was doing? Raising women and children on their own. So now these men coming up without that masculine, role that they needed. The women coming up without the masculine role that they needed. Now guess what you get? Now you got the Bloods and the Crips. Now you got the pimping and the hoeing. Where do you think that came from? The man wasn't in the house. They sent him to war. This is how it all started. They sent him to war in Vietnam. That's what happened. They sent all the men to war. And while the men was at war, they was feeding the women this philosophy of what they don't need. And the men come back and don't know what the fuck going on. They're like, what the hell happened? What the fuck's going on? And masculine men ain't gonna tolerate no bullshit or no disrespect. So they leaving. They leaving. And now the women get what they want. They get the money, they get the freedom, but the kids is missing something. The kids is missing something. Now they destroyed. And now they trying to raise kids. And them kids destroyed. And them kids destroyed. And now the men back in their life, and it still don't matter. Because them men was raised by broken women and broken grandmothers or broken fathers from this trap.
When they grow up. The people who get on welfare lose their human independence and feeling of dignity.
I said they study us like rats.
Right.
You know, we like lab rats. They study us. They say this is in the 60s. Look at the shit. Look at the background. This is in the 60s. So they're going to lose their independence and feeling of dignity. Black people ain't got no dignity and no independence. Right now in 2024. Look at Sexy Red. Look at Glorilla. Look at just a regular woman at the club. Ain't got no dignity. Tell me you want to be independent. I'm black and independent. Bitch, you ain't got no independence without that black man. Hell out of here.
They become subject to the dictates and whims of their welfare supervisor, who can tell them whether they can live here or there, whether they may put in a telephone, what they may do with their lives. They're treated like children.
Right. That's a fact. Women is nothing but children. They grown-ass children. Always throwing temper tantrums and crying about shit. Don't want to share. That's a child's trait, not to want to share. Feel me? Women out there telling me they don't want to share a man. Bitch would be lonely. You're going to be lonely. That's all I'm going to tell you. Or you might be in a picture with Chris Brown paying $1,000. So like, you might be paying $1,000 to take a picture with a nigga. Fuck you talking about? That's what might happen. You tell me you want to be independent and you can do it on your own. When you're going to spend $1,000 to take a picture with a nigga. Because don't nobody want to touch you. Fuck out of here.
Not like responsible adults. And they're trapped in the system. Maybe a job comes up that looks better than welfare, but they're afraid to take it. Because if they...
Right, they don't even want to take a nice job. They don't want to lose their free income. Right. They don't want to lose the free housing they got. When they don't know that that free housing and all that stuff is destroying the community. The community is destroyed. Now, you can get free housing. You can get food stamps. And it's a man living there. But guess what? Both y'all destroyed, so the kids still going to be fucked up. So it's not like it's nothing going to happen.
They lose it after a few months, and maybe 6 months or 9 months before they can get back onto welfare. As a result, this becomes a self-perpetuating cycle rather than simply a temporary state of affairs.
Right, and that's exactly what all this was supposed to be in black people's head, temporary. But the so-called white man knew that this was going to be a trap. And now in 2024, we suffering the effects of it, real talk. You go ahead with that scripture, though.
Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 44. He shall lend to thee.
Right, he shall lend to thee. That is talking about the people that oppress you, the people that's over you. They're going to lend to you. They're going to give you home loans and take the house back because of taxes. You feel me? They're going to lend to you Section 8 apartments and then take it back because you got a man staying up. Feel me? They're going to lend you money, then charge you interest and make you owe more money. They're going to lend to you.
And thou shalt not lend to them.
And that's how you know that the Bible is talking about black people. What's the only people on earth that's getting lent something but ain't lending nothing back? Black people, we don't lend nothing to nobody. All we do is take. Black people stingy than a motherfucker. If you ask me, black people ain't lending you nothing. Man, you let them borrow $40, they gonna be looking for you for the next 3 weeks. Where's my $40 at? Oh man, you still worried about that little money?
It wasn't little when I gave it to you.
It wasn't little when I gave it to you. This is talking about black people, man. You ain't lending nothing to nobody. Think they ain't asking for it back. You mean real talk.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
And that's what's happening. You feel me? That's what's happening in America. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. These people that are nothing have become rulers over us. They lending to us. We ain't lending to them. They became the head. We the tail. They can't even stand out in the sun for too long without needing sunscreen. They ain't built none of the inventions that help this place run. They done already started a draft. 16 to 24, you got to enlist because nobody want to fight for this country. This country is going to hell in a handbasket. And you heard it first from the priest of the Ashby under Commander Jayana.
And meanwhile, while they're doing all that, they've also destroyed the family, destroyed your children, destroyed everything that you could possibly put your hands on.
That's right, man. Yeah, tune in every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. You feel me? Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabrak Thumb, Yahweh Shema.